Being the target of bank fraud is never good. Unlike credit card fraud, it can be much more difficult to recover money if it's taken from your bank account. It may still be possible to get your money back, but you're going to save yourself a lot of headache if you avoid the situation in the first place altogether. Hi, Travis County. I'm Tamara Schubert, your Family Consumer Science Educator for NMSU and Travis County Cooperative Extension Service. Welcome to Week 2 of Preventing Fraud. Today we're taking a look at bank fraud and what we can do to prevent it from happening to us. Financial identity theft, as the Insurance Information Institute calls it, is a serious issue. The organization reported that 47% of Americans experienced financial identity theft in 2020 alone. This accounts for a loss of $712.4 billion. While you can't always prevent fraud, you can take some easy steps to protect your personal information and limit your exposure to fraud and identity theft. Step 1. Guard your online information. Maintain your computer's security software and avoid entering personal information like financial information or login credentials into any public computer. These computers often contain software that can capture your passwords or other data as you enter it. Along with this, using your Wi-Fi at your favorite coffee shop may be convenient and an easy way to do business. However, it's not always the most secure. That's especially true if the network is not password protected. If using a public network, look for the letters HTTPS at the start of the URL on a website that you may be logging into, especially if you're exchanging banking information, ordering online, or sending any data. If ordering items online, use a credit card versus a debit card. It's easier to dispute the fraud charge on a credit card than it is to get the money back once it's taken out of your account. 2. Monitor your account. It's recommended to log into your account daily through online banking or a mobile banking app. This enables you to keep an eye on your account balances and your account activity and helps that you can count these transactions quickly. How quickly you report fraud to your bank could affect whether or not you're responsible for all or a portion of those checks or charges that may not be accurate. If you spot potentially fraudulent charges on your bank statement, let the bank know right away. Today's world, many of us do not balance our banking accounts or check statements like we used to. You may have money missing and not know it. A $3 charge here or a $10 charge here may not be noticed if you're just looking at your end balance. But these little charges add up over the weeks, the months, or even the years. Number 3, business email compromise. Like we discussed last week, be aware of emails that note a change in financial data. Businesses like banks, internet providers, and mortgage companies will never ask you to confirm or share your personal information online. If you receive a message pretending to be a provider, delete it and report it immediately. For more information on email fraud, be sure to catch our video from last week. Number 4, shred the sensitive documents. Keep banking records such as ATM deposit slips and checks that you deposit through mobile banking until you reconcile them with your monthly statement. Then shred them. This goes for your monthly checking account statements as well. Keep them securely until you file your taxes and then shred unless needed to prove a deduction on your tax return. Better yet, you can sign up for those e-statements and access the statements online. It keeps those paper copies from hanging around the house. Check your credit report. Review your credit reports for any suspicious activities, such as accounts that you didn't open. You can review your report for free through several online agencies. Let's talk check fraud. Check fraud is specifically altered check claims have been on the rise in the last year or so. A couple of key things to note when writing checks. The written amount will be taken over the number amount if the two amounts differ. Be sure to fill in the number box and the written word lines as close to the beginning of that section as you can. This prevents extra numbers or words being added to that. A $10 check can quickly be changed to 110 with a simple letter or simple number or word added. In many instances, checks are stolen from mailboxes or obtained in other ways and then washed to change the payee or the amount. In response to this, do a couple of things. If you are mailing your checks to pay for bills, etc., take those envelopes directly to the post office. Do not leave them sitting in your mailbox for pickup by the postal clerk. Continue to check those accounts that you may have outstanding checks from to ensure that they're deposited for the accurate amount and to the accurate person. With the advances in technology, the rise of use to person-to-person payment apps like Zelle, PayPal, or Venmo have increased. It's important to ensure you know that you're sending money to the correct person before transferring the funds. If you're sending money to a friend or family member using mobile apps, double check and make sure you have the right person before sending. Consider having the person send you a request for payment or sending small amounts of money to ensure that they're going to the right person. Another common scam that we're seeing with the increase of online shopping is that you can pay for an item and the seller never sends it to you. Or you're selling an item and they cancel payment after it's already been shipped, leaving you on the hook for the items that you've already sold. So use these payment services only with individuals that you know and are familiar with. Thank you for joining us this week on Bank Fraud. Catch our last week's on Email Fraud if you missed it, and join us next week for more in-depth looks on fraud.